What up, though, ladies and gentlemen? So, as you can hear right now, seems like my voice went on vacation. Yeah, that's right. The brother's voice just gave him the middle finger. Doesn't want to work right now. But, even though the voice doesn't want to work, I'm still going to push through and do a good job working. Because that's what I do. When it comes to work, good is my base level. Good is what I do when I'm tired. Good is what I do when I'm sick. Good is what I do when I've had no sleep, no food, no nothing. That is the base level of my work ethic is good. But have you all ever thought about what your work ethic is in terms of relationships? What do you do when you're at your worst? What is the base level of what you give in different categories? Well, if you ever thought about it, that's today's lesson. What is your base level? Let's get it in. So, no hesitation putting it straight in. The question is, who are you regardless of how you feel? What is your minimum quality output that you do in terms of relationships? Now, in today's class, we're going to be breaking it up into categories, and it could get really crazy with how many categories. So I'm just going to use 3 major categories. Categories are strangers, dating, and spouse. So what is your minimum job? What kind of job are you going to do for each of these categories? I'm going to give an example of universal things that like all men would do, and I'll probably give an example of what I would do in each of these categories. When it comes to you ladies, I'm just going to pose a question. You'll see when we get there. So the first category, strangers. So the universal thing, well, before I explain the universal thing, just so you know, ladies, the universal way that men deal with situations, and especially with you in these categories, ladies, is not something that we decided on, like culturally. It's more something that's in the book of man, something that's tattooed on our soul that we're all born with. It's in that handbook. And these ways of treating you have been collectively decided upon by us pretty much since the beginning of time, and will probably stay that way till the end of time. So when I say universal, I mean universal, cross time. So first universal one, when it comes to strangers, there's a lot, but the best example I can think of is women and children first. Universally, even if you're a stranger, as men, we all collectively will think this is how we're going to treat women on a base level. When there's danger, when there's an emergency, when there's a ship sinking, when there's a building that's on fire, women and children get to go to safety before we do. We will put a stranger who's a woman in front of us onto a lifeboat before we put ourselves. Now, it doesn't mean that there won't be punk-ass dudes occasionally running around pushing women out of the way and jumping on the lifeboats. No man likes that guy, and no man wants to be that guy. Even if he turns out to be that guy, he hates that he's that guy, and everybody hates that he's that guy. So don't be that guy. But anyway, it's something that that's a universal thing, a base level of that's our job as men. Me personally, though, let me think. My personal example would be being a gentleman. My base level of work that I will do, my level of this is good, is I will be a gentleman to strangers. Even if you're a woman who I don't even know. Hell, you can be an enemy, a woman who I don't even like, and I will still open your door for you. I can hate your guts and still open your door for you because you're a woman. It's a base level of work, base level of this is who I am and this is how I treat you, simply because you're a woman, period. I don't even gotta know your name. But here's the kicker, ladies. When it comes to women, we as men don't really know what is it that you all have collectively come up with in how you're automatically going to treat men in a positive way. This is work that you're going to do for us, no matter who we are, as a stranger. So, especially in 2023, nowadays it is kind of odd to even ask the question. But this is balanced power. We tell the truth about relationships around here. Just because it has been fashionable to, ladies, no offense, only think about what you want and what you need when it comes to man and woman interaction, that's not really balanced at all. And it's not how any good relationship survives or thrives. So, we can't really decide it for you. One main thing, ladies, which you're going to see, because I'm going to repeat this over and over again in this video, you all really don't come together and collectively decide on sets of rules that often. Not in terms of what you're going to give. You have collective rules on what you want to receive all day. We could all list them. I knew those sets of rules when I was 4 years old. All men get taught that of what women want. But in terms of what women give, ladies, we don't really know. So I pose the question to you. What is the automatic job that you're going to do for men who are strangers? Ladies, it is unacceptable for you to say nothing. We just gave you two. One that's the universal one, and one that's me personally. Of what many men on the universal is pretty much damn near all of us. And then a lot of dudes, depending on what era you're from, will agree with the whole gentlemanly conduct. But the fact is, there's stuff that we can give you automatically because you're a woman and a stranger. So, y'all ladies, you need to come up with a list. So, if you can think of something, put it in the comments. Next section, dating. So when it comes to dating, again, universally, this might be a little slight differences here and there for culture's sake, depending on where you live and where you're at. But for the most part, this is pretty universal for men, which is we will universally pursue you and will universally pay more during the dating phase. Men are more likely to be the one to pay more often, pay more in frequency, pay more in volume, pay more. Just we're more willing to pay as far as money is concerned. Also with time and effort, which creeps into what I just said as far as the pursuing. We're going to be the ones asking you out. We're going to be the ones saying, hey, Susie, can you go on a date with me? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be something that's universal. It's a universal level of work. So for me personally, something I would give universally for dating, I would say one of them would be what we just made a video about recently, is that you, if I'm dating you, will get protection from everyone, including myself. It's an automatic base level of work, whether I hate your guts at the time, whether I like you, or I'm feeling great or I'm feeling horrible. My feelings don't dictate this. The rule of the base level dictates this. So, even if I'm feeling horrible, I still will be protecting you from everyone, including myself. I will do my best so that you're not feeling, from me, even if I'm not feeling well. So again, right here with the ladies, we're going to have to ask you the question, because I, as a man, cannot come up with a rule for you. I can't come up with a base level of work for you. I can come up with some examples in my head of what I would like and other men would like and what other women have said, but there hasn't really been a consensus. So you all are going to have to come together to decide the answer to this question, which is, what automatic work are you going to do for a man during the dating stage? And again, I'm going to say this because, gentlemen, you need to learn this when you're talking to your lady, and ladies, it's something y'all need, repetition. So I'm saying again, it is unacceptable for you to listen right now and say, there is nothing automatic. He don't get automatic something from me. I don't do no work for him. That's not acceptable by any means. It's not a balanced or fair relationship. And again, we're not really tripping on fair, but you should be caring about what your other person wants and not just receiving. So the last section, spouse. So universally, as men, we, again, great example would be, we will die to protect you. As our spouse, universally, again, pretty much all men from the beginning of time to the end of time, we will die to protect you. You as our spouse, we will jump in front of bullets, we will jump in front of knives, we will push you out of the way of cars and get hit ourselves. We will put ourselves in harm's way to make sure you are protected, especially if you wifey. If we put a ring on it, if you are our home, if you have our heart, ooh, hell yeah, we will throw our body in the way to protect our heart. So for me personally though, for my wife, something I call stop the world. I will stop dead in the middle of anything if my wife needs me. If I'm in the middle of a money-making meeting and I get the call, yo, I need you, this is important, but I'm like, yo, dropping everything, I gotta go. The world will stop for this woman. I don't care. I don't give a flying flow what else is happening. The only time it might even come up as a problem is if it's my children who need something at the same time she needs something, and then we got to prioritize. But yeah, the world will stop for my wife. It's a universal level of work, whether I'm feeling good about her or not feeling good about her, whether I'm mad at her, hating her, feel like it doesn't matter. That's what she gets. And again, sadly, ladies, this is sad that there's not even a universal rule that I can think of for you ladies in this arena. So again, we hit you with the question that y'all gotta come up with. You all out there, ladies, in the comments, talk about it, do a response video, show me a video of another YouTuber, a woman out there making content explaining the answer to this question. What is the automatic job that you have that you're going to give to your husband? I can think of just like 2 videos that I've ever seen on YouTube, on the internet, period. 2 of women talking about, this is what I do for my husband. And even then, it's not this base level. It's not this automatic level. Or it might have been. I'll have to show an example.
And realizing ways that I can better our relationship, better our life together. So this video, I'm going to talk about 10 things that I really do believe every wife needs to do for her husband. I encourage you as a wife that absolutely behind closed doors, touch your husband. I really do think it's important. Wives, respect your husband. Never compare what one person is giving versus the other. Praise your husband when he helps you.
But those videos of these ladies talking about what they're going to do for their man, yeah, they got a lot of hate. Ladies, I don't know what it is. I mean, I know, but that's a problem. If you're hating on your fellow woman simply because she's telling you the base level of work that she wants to do or does do for her husband, yet you have no problem hearing what men will do for you. That shouldn't be how it is. Balance of power. So I'm not going to do my job if I'm not telling you the truth. And the truth is, that is something that generally ladies of the West need to work on, is not having this aversion to having automatic work or automatic things that you're going to give your man. It's not a bad thing. It's not weird. It's necessary for a relationship to continue. Because I gave you universal examples and I gave you personal examples. And I'm pretty sure if you're watching this with your dude, he's going to be like, yeah, those make sense. I could do those. Or some of those I already do. Yeah, I get it. He could probably rattle off a list of things he will automatically give you, even days where he hates your guts. And yes, ladies, sometimes you can be annoying too, and we can be hating on you because you done did something. So, ladies and gentlemen, the moral of the story is, ultimately, who do you want to be? Who do you want to be in a relationship? Because that is what this means. Your base level of work is who you are. What is your relationship work ethic? Do you have one? And if you don't, why don't you? So if you don't have one, get one now. Because again, every moment, every breath that you're breathing right now is a chance. Every second is a chance for you to change whatever you're doing to go in the right direction. So it's a good thing you're here. It's a good thing God sent me because, man, I would not be telling y'all this on camera. This is so not what I want to do. I'm doing this because God said to tell you, okay? Whether you believe in God or not, call it the universe, call it science or a happy accident, but hey, use the information, do the work it takes, make your relationships great so that you can stay together. And yes, I know it requires work. I know you got to sit there and think and come up with like, I got to have a base level of how I am and who. Yes, especially if, like I said in the beginning, I gave the example of what I do at work. If you have a base level of how you perform at a job for someone else who you supposedly don't love, / some of you don't even like your job. Some of you hate your job. Some of you hate your job and the people you work with and the company and the products that you're selling. You hate everything about the damn job. Yet you will have a high level work ethic. Why don't you switch that? Or at the very least, if you have a high level of work ethic, it's something you don't even like, do it for something you love. That only makes sense, right? So, don't be afraid. Do the work. Like I said, it's going to take something. It's not the same as when you first got with the person. It's as you know, acquisition is elementary, but retention is hard. And that's the end of today's lesson. So today's lesson, as all other lessons, are mostly free, but you got to pay the small fee in the form of a thumb. So throw these thumbs up. Yes, and if you found value in this video, which I hope you did, slide this video to somebody who might need it, and for yourself, subscribe so you don't miss any moments of these gold bars of knowledge that I'm dropping on you. Because I know you love these lessons. Even if you try out other videos from other people, that's fine. But when are you going to come back? You ain't really going nowhere. I mean, really, where you going?
Where you going? Nowhere.
So that's right. Come on back and click on another video. Till next time. Deuce deuce.